Tomorrow night live on Showtime, Bellator 259 presents in the main event, featherweight gold on the line. The challenger looking to run it back, she's here. Leslie, the Peacemaker Smith, takes on the four-time champion, the reigning and defending Bellator featherweight world champion, Chris Cyborg. That, of course, in the main event tomorrow night. Your start time, 9 p.m., 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Welcome inside Bellator and Mohegan Sun Arena as we get set for the Bellator 259 weigh-ins. I'm Michael C. Williams. As we get set, a quick thank you to the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation, President of Sports and Entertainment, Mr. Tom Cantone, and as always, Cageside Director Mike Mazzulli. Again, tomorrow night, your main card live on Showtime. The action underway 9 p.m. here on the East Coast, live on the West Coast at 6 p.m. And don't forget, you can catch the first fight of the evening, the prelim, streaming live. Start time 5:30 East and 2:30 out on the West Coast. And of course, streaming live on YouTube. You can catch them at Bellator MMA and Showtime Sports. You can also catch the action live on the Bellator channel at Pluto TV. Let's bring your first fight of the prelims to the scale now. A lightweight matchup. Alexander Shafley, Alfie Davis. Your first fighter making his way to the scale out of the blue corner, Alexander Shafley. At 19-3 as a professional. 10 knockouts, 7 submissions to his credit. On the scale, officially 154.8. 154.8 for Shafley. And now his opponent fighting out of London, England, Alfie, the Axeman, Davis. 14-3 as a professional, 5 knockouts, 3 submissions on his record. And on the scale, 155.1, 155.1 pounds for the Axeman.
Good job. Okay, come on down. You're going to come over here on the red. All right, guys.
As we welcome Bellator President, Mr. Scott Coker, the two fighters staring down. This is your first matchup on the prelim card tomorrow night. You can catch it again live, streaming Bellator MMA, Showtime Sports. It's Alexander Shafley, Alfie Davis. Moving now to the bantamweight division. It's the Italian gangster, Danny Sabatello, Brett Johns. First fighter making his way to the scale. Out of Fort Lauderdale by way of Chicago, it is the Italian gangster, Danny Sabatello. At 10-1 as a pro on the scale, 135.6. 135.6 for Sabatello. And now his opponent from Swansea, Wales, Brett Johns. At 17-2 as a pro on the scale, 135.4. 135.4 pounds for Johns. Your second matchup on the prelim card, bantamweight set for 3 5-minute rounds. Danny Sabatello, Brett Johns. We go now to the featherweight division, again set for 3 5-minute rounds. Liam McCourt's Janae Hardy. First fighter to the scale, 4-1 as a pro from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Leah McCourt. On the scale officially, 149.4. 149.4 from McCourt. And now her opponent, by way of Sydney and the Gold Coast, Australia, Janae Hollow Point Hardy. Six and 4 as a pro on the scale, 145.1. 145.1 for Hardy.
You're going to go here on the red. You're going to come on the blue. Okay, ladies, you know what to do.
Featherweight set to throw down Leah McCourt, Janae Hollow Point Hardy. And now we'll go to the heavyweight division. The Marauder, Tyler King, all day, Davion Franklin. Your first fighter out of Boston at 12-9 as a pro. Please welcome Tyler, the Marauder King. On the scale officially, 246.3, 246.3 pounds for King. And now his opponent returning to the Bellator cage, 2-0 as a professional all day, Davion Franklin. On the scale, 264.8, 264.8 pounds for Franklin.
On the red, you're gonna come on the blue. Gentlemen, scoot in. Okay, guys, hands up. Let's do this.
Heavyweight set for tomorrow night. Tyler King, Davion Franklin.
Pose it out, whatever you want to do.
And we go now to the lightweight division. Sean Superfly Felton Aviv, the King Gonzalez. First fighter out of Buffalo, New York. 5-2-1 as a pro, Superfly. Sean Felton. On the scale, 154.3, 154.3 pounds for Felton. And now, his undefeated opponent fighting out of Bat Yam, Israel, Aviv, the King, Gonzalez. 5-0 as a professional, all 5 victories by submission. On the scale, 155.7, 155.7 pounds
on the blue.
for Gonzalez.
Let's keep it clean, keep it professional.
Lightweight matchup is set. It is Sean Superfly Felton Aviv, the King Gonzalez. And we go now to the flyweight division. It'll be Christina Katsikis against Sumiko Inaba. First fighter out of Hanover, Mass. Please welcome Christina, the meat grinder, Katsikis. Early on as a professional, 1-1. And on the scale, 125.8, 125.8 pounds for Katsikis. And now her opponent fighting out of Maui, Hawaii. Please welcome Sumiko, Lady Samurai Inaba. Off her successful Bellator debut, she's 1-0 with 1 knockout. And now on the scale, 125.5, 125.5 pounds for Inaba.
Okay, face up, ladies.
Set at flyweight for 3 5-minute rounds. Christina Katsikis, Sumiko Inaba.
All right, good luck, ladies. Good luck.
And now to the light heavyweight division. Tyree Fortune, Grant, the Truth, Neal. First up to the scale, the undefeated Tyree Fortune. Out of Portland, Oregon, as a professional, 5-0. And on the scale, 205.3, 205.3 pounds for Fortune. His opponent, also undefeated, Grant, the Truth, Neal. Bringing the same professional record, 5-0. He fights out of Denver, Colorado. 204.4 for Neal. 204.4 for the Truth.
Red, please. On the blue. Hey, guys.
Your light heavyweight matchup prelims tomorrow night for Bellator 259. Tyree Fortune and Grant, the Truth, Neal.
All right, right, guys. Good luck to both of you guys tomorrow.
And for the final prelim tomorrow night, we go back to the lightweight division. Nate Andrews, Syed Awad. First fighter from Providence, Rhode Island, Nate the Snake Andrews. As a professional, 16-3. 5 knockouts, 10 submissions to his credit. The Snake on the scale, 155.7, 155.7 pounds for Andrews. And now his opponent, out of Heath, Texas, by way of Gaza, Palestine. Please welcome Syed the Assassin Awad. The Bellator veteran, 23-13, including 10 knockouts, 7 submissions on the scale. 155.1, 155.1 pounds for Awad.
Good luck to both of you guys. You pose it down. You know what to do.
And there's your final matchup on the prelim card tomorrow night, Bellator 259. It is Nate the Snake Andrews, Syed the Assassin Awad. Tomorrow night's prelims, you can catch them streaming live on YouTube at Bellator MMA, Showtime Sports, and you can catch them on Pluto TV. Bellator 259 live on Showtime tomorrow night in the main event, the fight for featherweight gold as the challenger is back. Leslie the Peacemaker Smith takes on the reigning and defending Chris Cyborg. That's the main event. Start time 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. A 5-fight main card kicks off with this fight in the flyweight division, Hannah Guy and Valerie Loretta. First fighter making her way to the scale from Columbus, Mississippi, Hannah, the Hurricane Guy. At 2-1 as a professional. 2 submission wins to her credit on the scale. 125.2, 125.2 pounds for Guy. And now her opponent returning to the Bellator cage undefeated as a professional master, Valerie Loretta. 3-0 as a professional, 2 knockout wins to her credit on the scale, 125.8, 125.8 pounds for Loretta.
Nice to see you. Good luck. Good luck to both of you guys. Come on in, ladies. Pose it down. Let's go.
Your first matchup tomorrow night, main card, Bellator 259 live on Showtime. Hannah Guy, Valerie Loretta. And now we go to the welterweight division. It'll be Maicon Mendonça against Jaleel Willis. Your first fighter making his Bellator debut. Please welcome Maicon Born Again Mendonça. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, 11-4 as a professional. And on the scale, officially 170.9, 170.9 pounds for Mendonça. And now his opponent out of North Memphis, Tennessee, Jaleel, the Realist, Willis. 14-2 as a pro on the scale, officially 170.3, 170.3 pounds for Willis.
Gonna come on the blue, red, blue. Let's go, guys.
Second matchup, welterweights, main card tomorrow night, Bellator 259.
Face the cameras, guys. Face the
Maicon
cameras.
Mendonça,
Face the cameras, boys.
Jaleel,
Come on,
the
now.
Realist,
Face the cameras.
Willis.
Yeah, that's right. No one gets paid today. Let's go. Let's go.
And now we go to the middleweight division. Set for 3 5-minute rounds, Fabian Edwards, Austin Vanderford. First fighter making his way to the scale from Birmingham, England, Fabian the Assassin Edwards. As a pro, he's 9-1, 3 knockouts, 3 submissions to his credit. On the scale, the Assassin, 185.5, 185.5 pounds for Edwards. And now we welcome his opponent, the undefeated Mr. Van Zant, the gentleman Austin Vandervoort. At 10-0 as a pro, also 3 knockouts, 3 submissions to his credit. And on the scale, 185.3, 185.3 pounds
Come on in, gentlemen.
for Vandervoort.
Okay, guys, no touching. Get it close, just no touching.
In the third fight main card, middleweight.
Face the cameras, boys. Face the cameras.
Fabian the Assassin Edwards, Austin Vandervoort.
Face the cameras. Face the cameras, boys. Come on now. Come on. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Come on now. Keep it clean.
And now we go to the co-main event of the evening, bantamweights, Leandro Igo Darion Caldwell. First fighter to the scale, do Brasil, Leandro Alter Igo. From Mossoró, Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil, 20-5 as a pro, 137.5 on the scale. And now his opponent, coming back down from featherweight, the former bantamweight world champion, Darion the Wolf Caldwell. At 15-4 as a professional out of Rahway, New Jersey. On the scale, 135.6. 135.6 pounds for Caldwell.
All right, on the blue, on the red, on the blue, guys. Keep it clean. No touching. Yeah, no one gets paid today, boys. No one gets paid today. No one gets paid.
In the bantamweight division,
No touching.
a
No
rematch
touching.
is set. Leandro Alter Ego
Okay, guys. Face the cameras. Face the
Darion,
cameras.
the Wolf Caldwell.
Face the cameras. Face the cameras. Face the cameras, boys. Close it down. Good job. All right, guys. Good luck.
And now we go to the main event of the evening for Bellator 259 live on Showtime. Featherweight gold, Leslie Smith, Chris Cyborg. We welcome first the challenger, the peacemaker, Leslie Smith. By way of Oakland, she fights out of San Francisco, California, 12-8-1 as a professional. 5 knockouts to her credit, and the challenger on the scale, 143.6, 143.6 pounds for Smith. And now we welcome the 4-time champion, the defending Bellator featherweight world champion, Chris Cyborg. 23-2 as a pro, 18 knockouts. On the scale, 144.6 for the champ, 144.6
Ladies, bring it
for
in.
Cyborg.
Come on in, Leslie. Close it down, ladies.
They'll run it back. The first fight, 2016.
Okay, face the cameras.
Their second fight tomorrow night, main event for featherweight gold, Smith, Cyborg.
All right, ladies. Good luck. Good luck.
All right, Leslie, before you go, young lady, I want to just get your thoughts on a fight that you have been waiting 5 years to run back. I know that you thought, like many people did, that in your first meeting, you were still intelligently defending yourself despite being in trouble. Now, you've used that as motivation. You've gone 4-1 since the loss to Cyborg. What gives you your biggest source of confidence going into the rematch tomorrow night for the title?
I'm a much more mature fighter, I'm a much more capable fighter, and I've got the determination that it takes to win this belt.
Leslie, I wish you the best of luck on Friday night. Thank you very much as we welcome the Bellator featherweight champion now with us. Thank you, Leslie. We'll welcome in Chris Cyborg. And Chris, you and I and all of us here at Showtime, we go a ways back. Coming up in August, 12 years since you won your first major championship, the Strikeforce title on Showtime. Now, tomorrow night, you return as a Bellator featherweight champion. What does it mean for you to return to Showtime still at the top of your game?
No, I was training hard, and of course, everybody want to take my belt, but I trained so hard, nobody gonna take.
All right, we look forward to it. Chris Cyborg, Leslie Smith, the rematch for the Bellator Featherweight Championship. And before I throw it back to Michael C. Williams, while it will be Chris Cyborg and Leslie Smith trying to smash each other in the face for the Bellator Featherweight crown, today, those of us at Showtime and many other organizations and people around the world want to ask you to join us in smashing the stigma surrounding mental health. It is Mental Health Action Day. I ask you to visit mentalhealthactionday.org for more information on social media. You can be a part of the conversation at hashtag Mental Health Action. Hey, we are all in this thing called life together. Let's look out for each other. You are not alone. Back to you, Michael.
An incredible ambassador for mental health and wellness. Thank you, Mauro Ranallo, and thank you for joining us here at the Bellator 259 weigh-ins. Again, the main card live on Showtime. You can only see it there 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. out on the West Coast. And of course, that main event, featherweight gold, Cyborg and Smith. But join us for the first fights on the prelim card. Your start times there, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. on the West Coast. And you can catch it on YouTube, Bellator MMA, and Showtime. We'll see you tomorrow night for Bellator 259.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Cyborg.
Mixed martial arts legend Chris Cyborg looks to cement her incredible legacy with her relentlessly aggressive style. In a war with top contender Leslie Smith, fighting to stake her claim for Bellator Gold.
This is war.
Bellator MMA live tomorrow on Showtime, where warriors rule.